The nervous system, the body's command network built for speed, precision, and survival. It connects the brain, spinal cord, and every organ and muscle, allowing signals to travel in fractions of a second. This system doesn't wait for thought. It reacts. Sensory information comes in, decisions are made, instructions go out, often before you're aware. It operates in two primary states. One prepares the body for action. Heart rate rises, focus narrows, energy is mobilized. The other restores balance. Heart rate slows, digestion resumes, repair begins. These states shift constantly based on environment, movement, stress, and safety. The nervous system learns through repetition. Patterns strengthen pathways. Habits become automatic. Skill turns into reflex. But constant activation has a cost. Chronic stress keeps the system alert. Recovery is delayed. Sleep fragments. Signals become noisy. Fatigue appears without effort. Calm is not the absence of activity. It is regulation. Breathing influences it. Movement trains it. Rest resets it. When balanced, the nervous system fades into the background. When strained, everything feels louder. The nervous system is not just reaction. It is anticipation. A living network keeping the body responsive, coordinated, and alive, moment by moment, without pause. The digestive system, a continuous pathway through the body, designed to transform food into usable energy and nutrients. It begins in the mouth, where chewing breaks food down and enzymes in saliva start digestion immediately. From there, food moves through the esophagus by rhythmic muscle contractions, delivering it to the stomach. In the stomach, acid and powerful motion take over. Food is sterilized, broken apart, and mixed into a liquid called chyme, prepared for absorption. The small intestine is where most digestion becomes useful. Here, nutrients are extracted through millions of tiny folds and villi that increase surface area, allowing sugars, fats, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to enter the bloodstream. The liver, pancreas, and gallbladder support the process, releasing bile and enzymes that break down fats and proteins with precise timing. What remains enters the large intestine, where water is reclaimed and waste is formed. A dense community of microbes assists quietly, influencing digestion, immunity, and internal balance. The digestive system responds to the body's state. Stress can slow it. Rest can restore rhythm. Routine shapes efficiency. Quiet, coordinated, and constant. It turns the outside world into the fuel that keeps you alive. The spleen, one of the most mysterious organs in the human body, tucked quietly beneath the ribs, yet essential to survival. It acts as a filter for the blood, removing damaged cells, recycling iron, and clearing debris that no longer belongs. Every red blood cell has a lifespan. When it grows old or damaged, the spleen recognizes the change and removes it from circulation, making room for new life to take its place. But filtration is only part of its role. The spleen is also a command center for the immune system. It stores white blood cells, monitors the bloodstream for infection, and launches immune responses the moment a threat appears. Bacteria, viruses, foreign particles. The spleen identifies them and signals the body to respond. It also serves as a reservoir. In moments of sudden blood loss, the spleen can release stored blood back into circulation, helping stabilize the body in emergencies. Quiet and responsive, it adjusts constantly, balancing defense, filtration, and reserve without conscious awareness. The spleen works in the background, rarely noticed, yet deeply connected to immunity, circulation, and balance. It is not an organ of action, but of vigilance. The spleen does not move the body or shape our senses. but it protects the bloodstream itself, guarding the internal environment with steady precision. Bone marrow, a soft tissue hidden inside bone, yet essential to life. It fills the hollow spaces of the skeleton, working continuously out of sight. This is where blood begins. Inside bone marrow, stem cells divide and mature, becoming red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. The components that carry oxygen, defend against infection, and stop bleeding. Every second, millions of new blood cells are released into circulation. Old cells are removed. Balance is maintained. Bone marrow exists in two forms. Red marrow produces blood. Yellow marrow stores fat, ready to convert back when demand increases. This flexibility matters. During illness, injury, or blood loss, bone marrow accelerates production. The system responds before symptoms appear, supplying what the body needs to survive. Marrow is deeply connected to the immune system. White blood cells formed here learn how to recognize threats, distinguish self from foreign, and respond with precision. Despite its importance, bone marrow is rarely noticed. It has no sensation, no awareness. Its work is silent. But when it falters, energy drops, immunity weakens, recovery slows. Bone marrow is not structure, it is creation. A living factory inside the skeleton, turning bone into blood and blood into life. A reminder that strength is not only built on the outside, but produced quietly from within. The vestibular system, a hidden network deep within the inner ear, responsible for balance, orientation, and spatial awareness. It tells the brain where the head is, how fast it's moving, and in which direction. Inside are fluid-filled canals lined with microscopic hair cells. When the head tilts or turns, the fluid shifts, the hairs bend, signals fire instantly. This happens before thought, before you fall, before vision blurs, before awareness catches up. The vestibular system works with the eyes and muscles to stabilize the world as you move. When the head moves, the eyes adjust automatically, keeping vision steady even during motion. Without this system, walking feels uncertain. Standing becomes difficult. The world appears unstable. It is highly sensitive. Illness, fatigue, inflammation, or stress can disrupt signaling. Dizziness appears. Nausea follows. Balance wavers, but it adapts. Movement trains it. Exposure strengthens it. Avoidance weakens confidence. The system learns through use. The vestibular system does not create motion. It controls orientation. A silent guide keeping the body aligned in a moving world. A reminder that balance is not passive. It is calculated constantly, moment by moment, to keep you upright, focused, and aware. Sugar, a simple molecule found in nature, yet responsible for one of the most powerful energy systems in the human body. Every sweet you taste begins as a carbohydrate. Broken down into glucose, it becomes a universal fuel, powering cells, tissues, and organs with remarkable efficiency. Inside the digestive system, enzymes in the mouth and small intestine convert sugars and starches into simple glucose molecules. These molecules pass into the bloodstream, where they are carried to nearly every cell in the body. Here, glucose enters cells with the help of insulin, a hormone released by the pancreas. Together, they regulate how energy is used, stored, and released. Each cell responds differently. Muscles use glucose for movement. The liver stores it as glycogen for future demand. And the brain, which cannot store energy, depends on a constant glucose supply to think, remember, and focus. But sugar is only part of the story. When glucose arrives faster than cells can absorb it, blood sugar levels rise. The body responds by releasing more insulin, working to restore balance. Over time, repeated surges can strain this system. altering how cells respond to insulin's signal and changing how energy is managed. Sugar is neither villain nor virtue. It is a powerful biological tool, one that sustains life, demands balance, and shapes how the body experiences energy every single day. The gallbladder, a small, pear-shaped organ resting beneath the liver, often unnoticed, yet essential to digestion. It does not create bile. That work belongs to the liver. Instead, the gallbladder stores it, concentrates it, and releases it when the body needs it most. Between meals, bile slowly collects. Water is removed. The fluid becomes stronger, more efficient, prepared for action. When food enters the digestive tract, especially fats, the gallbladder contracts. Bile is released into the small intestine at precisely the right moment. There, bile breaks fats into smaller particles, making them accessible to digestive enzymes. Without this step, nutrients pass through unused, energy left behind. Timing is critical. Too little bile, and digestion slows. Too much, and balance is disrupted. The gallbladder regulates this exchange quietly and automatically. Its rhythm responds to habit. Regular meals encourage steady flow. Long gaps and sudden excess allow bile to thicken, reducing efficiency. Though small, its absence is noticeable. Digestion adapts, but precision is lost. The gallbladder is not a creator, but a regulator, refining a process already in motion. A reminder that even the smallest organs play a precise role in turning food into fuel. The kidneys, two of the most underestimated organs in the human body. Small, bean-shaped filters tucked deep in the lower back, yet responsible for maintaining the delicate chemistry that keeps every cell alive. Every minute, these silent organs filter nearly a liter of blood, removing toxins, waste, and excess fluid with a level of precision no machine has ever matched. Inside each kidney are almost 1 million microscopic filters called nephrons. Each one separates what the body needs from what it must let go, recycling water, balancing minerals, and sending impurities out of the bloodstream. To protect the body, the kidneys constantly monitor blood pressure, adjusting hormones that tell blood vessels when to tighten and when to relax. Without this system, the heart could not function safely. They also regulate red blood cell production, sending signals to the bone marrow when oxygen levels drop or when the blood becomes weak, a quiet communication happening every moment of the day. But the kidneys do more than filtration. They respond to stress, holding on to water during fear, releasing fluids during calm, and shifting chemical balance based on the body's needs. A change in hydration, a shift in diet, a moment of anxiety. The kidneys adjust instantly, protecting the internal environment with remarkable accuracy. Quiet, resilient, and endlessly adaptive, the kidneys maintain order in a world of constant change. They are not just filters, they are guardians of balance, chemistry, and life itself. Your lungs are the only organ that keeps you alive without asking for permission. Every breath you take pushes oxygen into 60,000 miles of vessels, a highway of blood reaching every cell you have. And here's the part nobody thinks about. Your lungs touch the outside world more than any other organ. Every breath you take pulls the world inside you. Dust, bacteria, an entire universe of invisible threats. But your lungs don't panic. They defend. Tiny immune soldiers wait inside every corner, ready to attack anything that doesn't belong. Millions of microscopic sacs, alveoli, open and close like parachutes around the clock. And if they ever stop working for even a minute, so do you. But your lungs do more than keep you alive. They react to your emotions. Fear shortens your breath. Stress tightens your chest. Relief lets you exhale. Love makes you breathe deeper. Your lungs listen to your feelings before you understand them. They know when you're scared. They know when you're safe. So the next time you take a breath, remember, your lungs aren't just breathing air. They're breathing for you. Every second, every moment, every day you're alive. The feet, the foundation of the human body, designed to support, absorb, and adapt. Each foot contains 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments, built for strength and precision. Every step begins here. The arches compress and release, absorbing impact and redistributing force with each stride, protecting the knees, the hips, and the spine above. The feet are sensory organs. Thousands of nerve endings detect pressure, texture, and position, sending constant feedback to the brain. Balance depends on it. So does coordination. They adjust instantly. Uneven ground, sudden shifts, changes in speed or direction. Corrections happen before conscious thought. The feet also influence posture. Alignment at the ground affects the entire body above it. Small changes here can echo upward, altering movement patterns over time. They respond to use. Movement strengthens them. Stillness weakens them. Habit shapes their structure. Despite carrying the body's full weight, the feet often go unnoticed until something goes wrong, yet they work constantly, step after step, day after day. The feet are not just for walking. They are the body's interface with the ground, where force meets feedback and movement begins. Stability and progress start at the ground. The tongue, a small muscular organ that quietly decides what enters the body. At first glance, it seems simple, but its surface is covered in thousands of taste buds, each designed to detect specific chemical signals. Every bite releases molecules that dissolve in saliva and bind to these receptors. Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, umami. 5 basic categories, each carrying information about what the body is consuming. Taste is not just pleasure, it is protection. Sweet signals energy. Salt maintains balance. Sour warns of spoilage. Bitter detects potential toxins. Umami identifies protein, the building blocks of life. But taste does not work alone. Signals from the tongue combine with smell, temperature, and texture to create flavor. Remove smell, and taste fades. The experience becomes incomplete. Taste buds are not permanent. They renew themselves every few weeks, maintaining sensitivity despite constant exposure. The tongue also communicates with the brain. Cravings reflect need. Aversion signals danger. Preference forms through memory, culture, and experience. Taste adapts. What once felt intense can soften over time. What was rejected can become familiar. The tongue is not just a sensor. It is a gatekeeper, deciding what the body accepts, what it resists, and what becomes part of you. Taste is how the body evaluates the world, one molecule at a time. The nose, a small structure at the center of the face, yet responsible for one of the most powerful senses in the human body. Every breath carries information. Tiny molecules in the air, too small to see, enter the nasal passages with each inhale. Inside, these molecules reach a specialized region lined with millions of receptors. Each receptor is tuned to a specific chemical shape. Together, they translate air into perception. This is smell, but the nose does more than detect scent. It filters the air, trapping dust, bacteria, and particles before they reach the lungs. It warms and humidifies each breath, preparing oxygen for delicate tissue deeper inside the body. Smell is directly linked to memory. Signals travel from the nose straight to the brain's emotional centers, bypassing conscious thought. This is why a single scent can trigger emotion, memory, or instinct in an instant. The nose also shapes taste. Most of what we experience as flavor is actually smell, working alongside the tongue to build the sensation of food. When smell fades, taste dulls, warning signals disappear. The world becomes quieter. The nose is not just a sensor, it is a filter, a protector, and a direct line to memory and emotion. It quietly interprets the air around you, turning invisible chemistry into experience.